So today, let's get this rusty Dodge truck to drive out of this junkyard under its own power after sitting for 13 years. Alright guys, so what we've got here is a 1972 Dodge D100. It's a 318. Originally a 3-speed on the column. Somebody's made a shifter here, as you can see. It's all handmade there. But it supposedly ran when it was parked. Step side. Looks fairly solid from what I can see. Last tagged in 05, so 13 years off the road. It hasn't been sitting here that whole time. The guy who actually runs the junkyard, he went and picked it up because they sold it as junk, and it's been sitting here since. I knew about it about a year ago, but I wasn't able to buy it at the time. So now here we are, back again. We're going to give it a shot and really just see if this thing will run. Let's pop the hood and see what we got under there. Like I mentioned, 318 2-barrel. Looks like both motor mounts are broken. That's why we got it chained down. That is just a bunch of power. I've already spun the fan and it's not locked up. I'm going to pull the dipstick, check the oil in it, and throw a battery in this thing and see if it'll actually do anything. That little 2-barrel Holly might not do the trick, but it looks like somebody's put a coil on it. So maybe we'll get lucky. I brought a couple of wires, a couple of jumper wires. Maybe we can make this thing run. So let's try it. Alright, stuck a hot battery in it. Let's see if this thing will turn over. That's promising. Sounds like a good starter. The good news is that this thing has points, being a 72, and this is a pretty early build, September of 71. So this is one of the very earliest trucks that was built by Dodge in this body style. And it looks like factory orange as well. So pretty rare truck, not gonna lie. I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of starting fluid just to see what happens. So, it's a throttle cable, everything. Yeah, the throttle linkage works. Somebody had already disconnected the fuel pump on this thing and ran it to a jug. So that's a good thing. That way we know we're not going to be pulling up any kind of junk into our pump. So let's go ahead and see if this thing hits. Alright. Hold on a second. This is the honest truth. That was completely real. I didn't do a thing. I'm like kind of in shock right now that that thing ran so well. This video is going to be so easy now. I guess to make it, I don't know, we're going to have to just drive this thing out of here, I guess. I'm not even lying right now. That was 100% totally authentic. Sprayed a little bit of starting fluid in the carburetor and it fired right off. They said it ran, so I had no doubt to not believe them. Now what I want to do is check all the tires, make sure they have air in them, and maybe rig up my fuel system. I've got a good pump, like an electric fuel pump, but I'm going to put the gas to that jug first and see if it'll actually run off of that. There's no question that the engine's good. So right now let's just see if we can make the thing idle and pull out of here. So I don't have a ton of gas here. It's probably about right here. If this thing actually runs, I'll go back and get some more. But I just made a little jug here, drilled a hole in the cap. And like I said, somebody's already taken the fuel pump and disconnected it from the actual tank. So we'll stick this jug in here and get a little closer. I don't really have enough hose to make this work. We'll just set it on the ground. That work. Let's try that. We'll get it to hit a little bit and pour some down the carburetor and see if it'll idle. Really isn't the best way to do this right here, but I'm going to make it run off of the starting fluid just until it can pick up some gas from the fuel pump. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I don't have my squirt bottle to fill up the bowls or anything, so don't try this at home. Key's not on. Alright, I just shut it off. Now the ultimate test. Will it start back with a key? Yes. Let it idle. Now before you guys think I faked any of this, I just want you to see all the stuff that I brought with my truck to make this work. I was prepared to do all sorts of stuff. I brought feeler gauges to set the points, screwdrivers, pliers, extra plug wires, power probe, everything. I had a bunch of stuff ready to go just in case this thing didn't want to run. But it was that easy. So now I guess we should drive it out of here. So I brought an air tank. Doesn't really have the capability to air up all four, but I think some of them are still capable of rolling. So what I'm going to do is pick the one that's the worst, air it up completely, and then distribute the rest among the other three. Now this is where we're going to run into some problems. This tire looks like it's pretty much fallen off the bead at this point. We're going to try and shoot some air in it and see if it'll do anything, but I don't really have good faith in this one. I've got a spare in the truck, but no jack and no four-way lug wrench, so pretty good. Let's see what it'll do. Come on, come on. Please, please, please. That's good enough. Wow, that's impressive. Alright, yeah, my air tank's running low, so I'm going to go to the front now because it's actually a little bit low too, but it wasn't as bad as this one. So this was the worst, and it's leaking fast, so we gotta hurry. The front didn't hold any air, so let's just try and see if this thing will even move. We've got gas, we've got battery, we've got spark. Let me try it. It wants to, really wants to, but that flat tire's got it sunken in the ground. So what I need is a jack and a four-way lug wrench, and I think this thing will drive out. So I decided to go home and grab some tires here. You can see I got a spare wheel right here. I've got another one for the back. Being that this front wouldn't hold any air, I'm just going to change it completely, and then we'll go to the back and change it too because it leaks air. Now, interestingly enough, I've never seen one of these trucks with drums on the front, so this is pretty new to me. I've only ever seen them with front disc, so pretty cool. So let's put this new wheel on and we'll get this thing set on the ground. Done. Now onto the rear. So as you saw, this thing actually held air, but in the time it took for me to do the 10-minute drive home and come back, it's already gone flat. So we're just going to change it too. We're already here. Out with the old, in with the not as old. And with this, we have 4 tires that hold air. So since it's about to rain, let's see if this thing will start back up, and we'll try and roll it out of here. Oh, I bet we ran out of gas. That or the jug spilt. We're really moving. We're really moving, guys. Wow. Oh, she doesn't like it. I think the clutch is probably bad on this thing. It's just enough to move it. Ooh. Come on now. You're doing great. So let's take a little bit of a better walk around of the truck. This fender right here looks like it's had some damage done to it, and the rust in the door and the fender. But for a truck this age and what it is, it's actually fairly solid. I'm honestly impressed by how well it's held up all this time. The hood is really nice, and it's got these custom badges on it. So I wonder what kind of options this thing came with new. I'll have to check all that out. Inside, floors on that side are pretty nasty. Got some rot in the cab corners here. But what can you expect for a truck like this? This dash pad is pretty nice. Like, this is nicer than the truck that I drive. I might steal this one for mine. But we've got stuff in the glove box, registration, whatever. But honestly, the truck is so nice. Like, there's a lot of stuff on here that's so good. And it's honestly too nice of a vehicle to part out. I didn't have that in mind, but it's pretty cool. It wouldn't hurt to get this thing running, fix a few things, and actually make it to where you could drive it looking just like it is. We've got glass pack exhaust. Sounds decent. For some reason, we've got some nasty wheel hop. I haven't figured out what it is yet. I have to kind of diagnose that as we go, but can't really tell something while we're driving around with no brakes at like 2 miles an hour. Metal door panels, pretty rare option right there. And it's pretty nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like this truck. I like it a lot. Probably take it home, pressure wash it like I do, make it look really nice, and maybe buff it, put some nice wheels on it, fix a few things here and there. I've never owned a step side before, so this is new for me. So I'm excited about that. Short bed step side, you can't beat one of those, especially one that's a V8 3-speed. You can drive out of the junkyard. I would drive it home, but it's too dangerous, you know, registration and insurance and all that stuff. You'd need that, obviously. So I'm not going to drive this thing anywhere until I actually have all that worked out. No brakes, none of the good stuff that you actually need to make a functioning vehicle. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You can see that's the wheel I put on the rear, wheel I put on the front, and we drove it out of there. Now, for the most fitting name I could think of, being that Halloween is coming up, this is early October, I feel like a Rusty Pumpkin is a good name. And we'll shorten that to Rumpkin, and even shorten it even more to Rump. So this is Rump. Everyone meet Rump. I just thought of that, and I don't know why I think that's funny, but yeah, this is Rusty Pumpkin, aka Rump. And that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment. Order your t-shirts and your stickers. I'm not wearing one of mine, but definitely do that. Feel free to send in your projects to my email. And if you want to see more of this, we're going to bring it home in the next episode pertaining to this truck. I drove around the junkyard. You guys saw that it'll leave. So I'm going to haul it home, and we're going to play with it there. We're going to fix a few things. It's got some nasty wheel hop. The brakes don't work, and it doesn't want to stay running that well. But we're going to fix all that on the next episode. So I can't leave without giving a huge thanks to Mitchell Auto Sales for allowing me to come out here and get this piece of junk running. So thank you so much, Mike. And if you liked the video, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, like I said.